comes.
All you Tums fans and all you beautiful newcomers, to another exciting episode of Tio Imzi, Mo SABC 1 Mzansi Bosho, ena hena ke show ele ratanga hulu, el tlisetsa the latest and the coolest trends tsa science and technology. Ibile rona hena re tlisetsa ke SABC Education.
Niaz bafethu ukuthi Tio Imzi is the only show that actually updates you on all the trends happening in science and technology. So now we're going to be discovering the world of the wonderful books and stories. We're also going to be learning more about the science of reading and writing.
Awesome South Africans re batla ithuta gore bohlokwa ba ho ngwala bona ke eng re batla bona hape le gore ho bala hona affecta jwang mmele wa hao le kelello ya hao ebile re batla bona hape le gore dibuka and printing process tsona di tswa ko kae
so besola kabanzi ukuthi how are books actually made. We're also going to be celebrating our country's great writers, and we're also going to be showing you guys some cool technologies zokufunda.
So here are today's highlights. Listen up, award-winning writer o re bolelang gore ho banning batjha tlamelo re babale. Discover graphology, the science of analyzing handwriting. Re celebrate one of SA's legendary writers. Tsamale rona ha re tjhakela a proudly South African printing company. Re ithute gore ho ngwala le ho bala ho affecta jwang kelello ya hao. Find out where books come from le gore bana ba di etsa jwang during ancient times. Check out some cool applications for your smartphone. Ebe re fumana some cool career advice from our experts on today's show.
Reading and writing is very important in today's world. What exactly is reading? Sikuchaza kanjani lokhu and kusinceda kanjani empilweni zethu nasemisebenzini? Samile sayibuza you guys about the science of reading. So let's go check it out.
Karata go bala because I'm a student at HAN, so batla go tswela mo bophelong, that's why.
Ha ke enjoy go bala wa bora yeah. Ko kena knowledge vele ho tseba nka ba hlalosetsa vele hore aliens tseo ho kena knowledge ho tseba vele ya
Aliens would come nka ba ra go robala, maybe you get knowledge by myself.
Go ba be independent mo lifeng gore ba khone ho kena something else mo bukeng ka bane ona le differences mo pela mo mhara maybe una ntse tse dingata jwale mo bukeng vele ba khona ho grab something yeah.
If batho ba batla bala ne ba tlo bala ba ka bala because batla ba ngola di test gore knowledge ba khumane knowledge so that they cannot forget, that can pass that right.
Le re batla bua le somebody really cool about bohlokwa ba ho ngwala le ho bala in today's life. Yena bilaling hape he is a published author ebile ke motho leng gore o ngwala ditaba for news services online. So na jwanong a re tsamere le utlo re yena o na batla ho reng ko rona.
Let's go.
I'm an author, a speaker. I work in the youth development sector, and basically I'm the author of Thinking Ghetto Genius and Beyond Democracy. I've written quite a lot. I started writing poetry when I was still a teenager, and then I wrote short stories. Currently, I've evolved to writing music, lyrics, and I've got a blog where I write articles. Some of the articles I've even sent to newspapers for publishing, and I've also written books, of course. Yeah, I became a writer in order to share. There was a lot of information being so new researcher from time to time about personal development, and I felt this information was relevant to our youth and the way izinto zenzakalanga khona elokishini and how we could actually change those things. So I felt you know what, I could actually play my part by contributing over a longer long term by actually writing, because normally what I would do is and talk to kids, but then I'd realize you know what, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks that I would have taught them. So I felt that maybe by writing a book, then they'll be able to refer to it time and time again and remember those things that we were teaching them. Because especially in this technological age as Pilaguyo, there's blogging, so ngisebenzisa Tumblr for ama articles wami, bese kunama for into ezincane like ama short messages nginosebenzisa bo Facebook, nginosebenzisa bo Twitter, and then obviously but ku Twitter ama summary. So Facebook at least ungabhala ama notes and then share nabanye abantu. Ungabuya futhi uthumele ama articles wakho kubanye abantu abanama website ushare nabo because nabo badinga content, so nokushare nabo ngibabhalele technology is yasinceda ukuthi sikhone ukubhala much easier. It's made it very accessible because even if uthola i-idea usendleleni usebhasini uyesikolweni uyakhona ukuthi ukhiphe ifoni yakho ubhale leyo idea yakho ubhale ama notes, maybe mawufika endlini ungayicedelela, maybe ungayibhala khona lapha endleleni. I mean ungazithola sobhale a whole page or even a chapter depending ukuthi uyakuphi. So ziningi indlela manje ongabhala ngazo which bezingekho before. Kuqala bekumele ubhale ngeball pen nephepha, mazingekho i-idea yabaleka. So there's no reason ukuthi singathatha advantage of technology kulamalanga to actually write the things that we want to write.
E-books are digital books ezingadownloada kwi-computer noma i-mobile device yakho. They are the evolution yencwadi into the digital world. The Amazon Kindle is popular amongst people who like to travel kodwa abathanda ukuphatha zonke incwadi zabo. Ungathenga igidi zencwadi on this device, ufunde ama-newspaper, magazines, blogs and other wireless media. Mhlawumbe ufuna ukubhala but you are more comfortable efonini yakho than in front of a computer noma a book. Then you can get the Write to Light app on your iPhone and type noma yini oyifunayo. Mangabe ke une Android, then you can get the Writer app uqale ukubhala. For more info, visit us on www.toms.co.za and simply follow the links. Graphology ke science ya ho analyze handwriting. La ile re hokile ba le diphisano tse dingata tsa hore science ena yona e create ho le ho kakang ba kgona ho sebedisa ka mohara di court case ebile di company tse ding tsona di sebedisa hore bona ba kgona ho recruit new employees. But what is it all about? Go ya ka research tse le ngwalang ka yona can reveal a lot about personality ya hao. It can even be used to identify health problems such as blood pressure and schizophrenia. Go ya ka di-studies tsa graphology, batho ba ba ngwalang hanyane ke batho ba ileng gore ba na le dihlong ebilane ba meticulous. And outgoing people who lack attention will have larger handwriting. Batho ba ileng gore ba tota di-eye tsa bona le di-J tsa bona high above the base tend to have great imaginations, while those who dot close to the base are more organized and empathetic. Procrastinators tend to dot to the left, and childlike personality types will draw their dots as circles. Very small cramped handwriting can be a symptom of Parkinson's disease, and schizophrenics tend to have writing that switches direction in the way it slants.
Learn more about lithoprinting, and we also celebrate a legendary essay writer. So guys, Talan Pants, you don't want to miss this.
How does reading and writing affect our brains? And what is lithoprinting? Find out when we come back after this.
Sweet Buffeting, you guys are still tuned in to TOMZ Konalagu SABC 1. Mzansi for sure, brought to you by the SABC Education.
Ntsala pele ka ithuta ka the latest science and technology trends tsa mona mona henya rona. Ebile ka tse go re batla ithuta all about dibuka. Re batla ithuta hape le hore hobaneng reading and writing is not only important for you but also really good.
So sabasikhuluma with essays book lovers. Sola kabanzi ukuthi incwadi ziprintwa kanjani la eMzansi, and we're also going to be learning where writing and reading comes from.
And we're also going to get some amazing career advice from Bachaki about today's episode.
Later on in the show, we're going to be having our social session. So right now, log in, leave us a comment on Facebook, on Twitter, or on both, and we might be chatting to you later on.
But for now, here's what's coming up next.
Let's go.
Celebrating one of SA's legendary writers, Lerona, and learn about the technology behind lithoprinting and discover how reading and writing affect your brain. South Africa has had many great writers in the past. A difference not only mona mo Africa borwa but ko lefatsheng kaofela. E ka bela ditse di legend tsa lona. Well, let's go find out.
Okay, the famous playwright Baby Joe.
The famous playwright that I know is John Kane.
Playwright ke mtsibang ke ne bala ka yena matric wa ka go English John Kane wa na tempa ne truth.
The famous playwright that I know is Zakes Mda.
The famous playwright that I know is Zakes Mda.
Zakes Mda is South African poet, novelist and playwright. He has won major British and South African awards for his novels and plays. Ufundise isilungu and creative writing la eMzansi, the United States and the United Kingdom. He's founding member and serves on the board of the African Writers Trust, a non-profit organization that coordinates futhi ihlanganisa ababhali bala Africa to promote the sharing of skills and knowledge across the continent. In 2012, Zakes was awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Cape Town for his contribution in world literature. Umsebenzi wakhe is inspired by abantu bakhe, and his novels have been translated into 21 languages. We celebrate him as one of SA's literary legends. ne re batla bona hore dibuka ba di etsa jwang ebile ba di printa jwang hona mona mo Afrika Borwa. So re la ra tjhakela a printing company ho bona hore process ena e sebetsa jwang.
Asametse bona la experts utsayenza kanjani to produce books for the whole nation.
Okay, my name is Robin Wheeler. I'm an entrepreneur and I founded and I run Be Entrepreneuring. One of the divisions of that is publishing, so we publish books, and I'm also a writer, so we publish, some of the books we publish are my own books. So there are 4 main stages in the publishing process. There's the writing of the book, then there's the publishing, printing and designing of the book, then there's the distribution of the book, and then there's the marketing of the book. So we've got the first 3 books in the series here, and we're wanting to keep the new book in keeping with that look, but I've decided to bring a bit of color into it. So we've got those 2 options there, and we've settled on the picture on the left there as the image we're going to use. And this time, apart from the color, I've also used my handwriting as the title of the book, just to give it a personal touch, because it's all about being yourself for a living. I come up with the idea first, and then I'll come to the designer and sketch the overall ideas, and then I'll go and have photographs taken, and then we screen through the photographs and choose the ones we want, and then we design and you tweak it, so it can take quite a while, you know. So now this is the internal pages that are getting printed. The blank pages go in on the other side of the machine and they get processed through here. It's a very, very precise process, all digitized these days, and the pages come through and they're all printed on big sheets, so they get folded later on. Then the cover gets printed separately on a big sheet of cardboard. It gets laminated so that it's protected. This one gets embossed, so it's got a special foil that goes on. So each time it has to go through the printer another time for each color. So for the black it goes through once, for each color it goes through once. This whole stretch is one printing machine, and the paper goes in that side, and you can see the different colors, red, blue, yellow. So the ink gets put in separately to these, and the paper rolls through and it gets printed onto the paper and comes out on the other ends. There are different inks for different papers, for different colors, for different machines. It's a very highly technical area, this. The printing that you saw, where the flat sheets are all produced, those then get folded and cut into the right order, and then these ladies put those pages together into this machine. The spine gets roughed up, it goes through the machine, and that gets glued on this side. It comes here, and this lady at the moment is putting the covers in, so the machine puts the pages that are glued together into the cover, binds them, and then the finished book comes out over here. This is the finished product. It's come out of the binding, it's been bound together, it's been cut. The book is done. We're at the 3rd stage of the publishing process. We're in the distribution center. So the books have been printed, they come here, they get stored on shelves. In the meantime, reps are out going to all the stores, selling to the store managers there, and when they get orders, the distribution center here fills those orders, puts the books in a box, puts an invoice with it, and sends it off to the stores. So a publisher, the book publisher, has different departments. They'll have their design and formatting department, then they'll outsource their distribution to a distributor like we're in at the moment. Then they'll have a marketing and publicity department. A big publisher will do that. A small person, an independent publisher like Lelo, will be doing all of that himself. So that whole organization will just be really one person. So you can start small and run it in a very organic way, and as you grow you become a bigger publisher with a bigger distribution network. You'll recognize my books we've just come from the printer, and here are the copies of the books. So now boxes of these, each title of these is on the shelves here in the warehouse, and when the orders come in from bookstores, they fill out the orders and put them in a box and wrap it nice and securely and make sure it can't get damaged. They put an invoice with it so that when it gets to the bookstore, they receive it and put it onto their shelves. So these are ready to go off to the stores. Things have changed a lot. In the last 10 to 15 years, rapid change in the publishing industry. So this idea of having book stock on shelves that you've prepaid for and that it sits here for a long time and waits to get sent out is a very small section of the market. What Lelo's doing as an enterprising angle for the industry is much more innovative. For somebody small to get to this point where their books are on the shelves like this is a very advanced stage. It doesn't happen very easily. You've got to work really hard to get to that point. So the best thing is to work with all the different avenues that are available to you.
Did you guys know that writing can calm you down and sharpen your memory? Well, studies have found that writing freely or keeping a journal can drastically reduce stress levels. Let's go.
You are stimulating a collection of cells in the base of your brain, the reticular activating system. This system is a filter for all the information it pays more attention to what you're focused on. Something more fatty, this system triggers the brain attention more attention, better memory. Relax more than for a walk. Studies that kids for pleasure have a better vocabulary, spelling skills, and even do better mathematics. Reading can also help to enhance your social skills, empathy towards others, and your creativity, with readers being more open-minded than our social session, so get all your comments and your shout-outs ready on our Facebook and our Twitter pages. All this and lots more after the break. The origin and history of books. Tom's SABC Education, SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.
And today we're talking about books. We're learning about the science of reading, writing, and making books. Mzansi. Every once in a while. So we're going to be learning about the evolution of books, finding out how everything is just going digital, and it's all about
so here's what's still to come on today's show. Discover the origin and history of books mo planeteng ya rona. Listen up, award-winning writer and get some awesome career advice from our guest on today's show.
Our scientists are not sure how soon mankind began to make books after the invention of writing, because the books themselves did not survive. So right now, let's turn back the clock to go look at our oldest surviving examples of writing in our history.
When writing was invented in ancient times, noma yini ungabhala kuyona beyisebenziswa njengesikhumba, amatshe, metal, and bark. The oldest surviving examples of writing are on clay and stones, and the earliest known books are the clay tablets of Mesopotamia and the papyrus scrolls of Egypt. Around 500 BC, parchment beyenziwe ngeikhumba zeyilwane besebenziswa as an alternative to papyrus. Another book form that was widely used was the writing tablet, a precursor of school students' slates. The mass printing of modern books yaqala about 560 years ago. The printing press yokuqala la eMzansi was established by the London Missionary Society in 1823 in the Chuma Valley.
The digital age has influenced indaba yokufunda in a very positive way, because once again it's made it accessible. Look at dala, if bofuna ukufunda incwadi ezi500 bokuyomela uziphathe ebhegini or uzilande library, mara manje sekhona izinto ama-tools, once again, thanks to technology, that stack up these books in forms of PDF. So you can take these PDF books, you can read them from your computer, you can read them from these e-book readers, and then basically have more access to knowledge than you would have in the past. Although abanye bethu sesenalo sidala ukuthanda incwadi ngoba incwadi yakhona ukuyibamba, yakhona ukuyibeka, yabo mahlangane ne-author yakhona ukusayinela. So from an aesthetic point of view, incwadi, we do still appreciate and love them. Mara from a convenience point of view, the digital age has made it much easier for us to get smarter, wiser, by giving us the access to incwadi.
It is time for another social session here on Tom's SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. This is where we chat to you via social media, and namhlanje ngiphethe uKingsley on Facebook saying hi to his brother Michael, who's watching Tom's with him, and ucabanga ukuthi wonke umuntu should learn to read and write so that we all have a brighter future nokuthi sithole imisebenzi ecacile. Well, Kingsley, thina la Tom's sivumelana nawe. If you can read and write properly, there's a whole lot of opportunities for you out there in the big world.
Okay, let's move on. Siyakulenyone Blue on Twitter. I've got Lisedi saying she wants to be a writer, but she's dyslexic, so it will probably never happen. How Lisedi, girl? Come on, you can't give up on your dreams like that. Did you know Guti Manenga writers throughout history who actually had dyslexia and other learning disabilities, but they managed to overcome them and become world famous?
Many famous people in history suffered from dyslexia. It is a learning disability that affects a person's spelling, writing, and reading. And abantu abaningi engibaziyo aba famous include legends like Carol Lewis, who wrote Alice in Wonderland, Walt Disney, Whoopi Goldberg, even scientists like Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison.
Yeah, all you need is just confidence. And if you want to be a writer, you have to overcome your disabilities at some point.
So on today's show to give us some career tips and advice for the future. So listen up, because this is for you.
The traditional way of becoming a writer involves anything that is related to journalism, so that you can newspapers and skills of writer. But if you say high school, I would recommend ufunde a vast array of books, ufunde every day. And also upale. You must write every day. Just like if boy soccer player bozo chima every day to make it into the squad, you should take that skill and duplicate it into writing.
Okay, my name is Russell Naidu. I'm the Managing Director of SA Calendar and Print. To the youth, I advise them that, there's to go into printing. We have printing courses where guys can go. What you basically need is maths, and it's actually a very good industry to go in. It's printing, basically. You can go to the printing college or start off with maybe going to university and doing graphic designing. Graphic designing is where you do from the design of the book up to the printing. And if you feel you don't want to go into designing, you can actually, as a gentleman or young guys, can actually go into the print, where you learn how to actually run the machine. But first, they start you as a apprentice, so you work on the machines, and then from there they send you to college. It's very exciting.
Yes, but for more information on today's episode, all you got to do is visit our website at www.tomz.co.za. Before we turn off the lights, some highlights on today's episode.
We told you guys about graphology, science ya analyze handwriting. Lord, the scientists on a handwriting ya how e ka ngata ka wena. We celebrated the legendary South African writer Zakes Mda. Re bone hore leather printing yana e sebetsa jwang. Lord, the buka and other materials are printed at printing company ka tsela tse feng. Re discovered how reading and writing can affect kelelo tsa rona and our well-being. We looked at the first materials sine ba di sebedisa go etsa dibuka during ancient times. And we got some great career advice from our experts on today's show. For more information, go to www.tomz.co.za and remember to keep socializing with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Next time for more fun and science on TOMZ SABC Education.
We signing out, and don't forget, keep on reading.
Next time on Toms, Nali Magenya Rituta about solar power. Find out what solar power is and how it works. Remember the solar power Mzansi Africa, and check out some cool solar power designs. Catch Toms every Monday and Tuesday at 4 o'clock only here on SABC1 Mzansi for sure.